What's going on, everyone? Keith here, Two Guys How To. My son Keaton's here helping today, and today we just opened up his graphics card on this used computer. He's got multiple computers, so we just applied thermal paste to his old graphics card, and we're using the Arctic. I got this from Amazon, the MX-4, and I think I got maybe 5 or 6 tubes for $20–$30, something like that, and it's really good paste. So what we did, we just shot that video, and he wants to go ahead and re-thermal paste his CPU in here. So we've got the cover off the computer, we laid it down, we're actually in the kitchen, why I don't know, but we ended up in here. And we're gonna blow everything with some compressed air, get the dust off, and take this CPU off. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. Most of them have screws. On his new computer that we just built, it had screws. So we located the CPU and the power wires that go to it from the circuit panel here, or from the motherboard. So this one, instead of having screws, it has little latches. So I'm going to go ahead and just undo this, the power supply, real gently, get that out of the way. And these, instead of having screws, you actually have arrows on them. So you want to turn them to the arrow. And real easy. You can put a little flathead screwdriver in there if you want. Let's see if I did these already. And then I'm going to push down on this one just real lightly. Okay. This one I think was out already. So what it is they're kind of like little screw studs. They're plastic studs, and this thing should lift up off of here. Sometimes you gotta kind of jiggle it a little bit. This should come right off. And you just gotta pull up on them, just real, be gentle with it. And just lift the whole thing out just like that. And you can see right here on this copper quarter size button, let's move this like this. This quarter size button, that's got the thermal paste and also the receiving side. So when they go together, it's kind of like if you had a piece of grease in there and just squished it, it would mushroom out. And this one actually needs a lot. Look how little bit of paste. Yeah. It needs more paste. So we've got an arrayment of Q-tips that we use. We've got the new thermal paste that comes in this tube, and this thing will probably do about 5 CPUs, won't it?
4.
Maybe 4 to 5, and maybe a graphics card. We did a lot last time. We've got some compressed air if you wanted to blow it out, or we've got a full-size air compressor that's down here with no water. Make sure there's no water in the tank. I keep this inside, and it doesn't build up moisture, and we can blow everything out for even cheaper than buying that. And we've got some 91% rubbing alcohol. So what we're going to do is we're just going to clean this old paste off. This one's not as bad, but we're going to use some Q-tips here. And it's pretty hard, so I'm testing it first real quick, Keaton. It's pretty hard, so I think we're going to have to put some rubbing alcohol, even just to help solidify this stuff to get it off of here. And I'll show you, this is with just a dry Q-tip here, and it will come off too, but it's starting to kind of get in little chunks. So let's go ahead and try a little bit of rubbing alcohol on a Q-tip. We can see the difference here.
You can also see at the sides.
Put this right down here.
You can see at the sides of the aluminum heatsink there's just like little pockets of dust, and that will make it.
Yeah, but let's just show them this. You can see how the rubbing alcohol is breaking that paste down from being hard back to a nice liquid, kind of like a toothpaste. So let's get as much as we can off here, and then I'm going to use a napkin to get the rest, but I want to make sure we don't get a bunch down in these fins. These are cooling fins. So I have rubbing alcohol on this side of it as well. So now it's pretty clean. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing down below here on the motherboard. And there's actually not a lot of stuff down on there.
Barely any.
Yeah. Not much, but let's just keep trying to, let's do it with the Q-tips so it doesn't get all over the place here. I mean, literally, we could probably just pull that up out of there if we wanted to. But let's just clean it while it's in there. It's not hurting anything. Yeah, this paste needed to be done. This computer's going to run so much cooler.
I'm going to go ahead and take the heatsink out of the fan so we can properly dust it out.
Okay. I blew it out. You can blow it out more with the air.
I don't think it was that effective.
Oh, you could probably wash that in the sink and dry it. Yeah, you can see how dirty it is. Let's just keep cleaning this little base down here. I don't know if you guys can see this. We can show it to them this way. You can see it right there, how much cleaner it's getting. So we got about maybe one more Q-tip worth of old graphics paste. And this alcohol, I like using alcohol because it evaporates quick. It doesn't leave any residue on it. And you want to make sure you get all those pieces. It actually helps stick the dried up paste together. I'm actually going to break this off. I broke the tip off, the old tip. I'm just going back in, that way nothing falls down on the motherboard there. Simple. And if we went to the computer shop, they're going to charge us $60 probably for this. Who knows how much for the paste. Alright, so let's get a clean napkin with a little rubbing alcohol. Let's just go over that one more time. Nice. And you can see how clean that is now. Really, really clean. So, let's see this side here. You can see the fan. So we've got the fan out. You can just see how dusty and dirty that is. That's the side that we cleaned. It needs a little bit more cleaning with the rubbing alcohol. And I'm just going to clean that. I'm going to do it over here though. That way it's not over top the computer. And then we're going to blow this fan out really, really good. A little bit more rubbing alcohol here. And this is what keeps it cool. If this thing runs hot, you're pretty much going to have a failure. And it definitely needed it. Normally when we do them, they don't really need it. The paste is still pretty smooth and malleable, but you can see how clean that is now.
I've been using this computer for like 2-3 years.
Yeah, he's been using it a while, but it's definitely dusty. We need to blow it out. So let me take a quickie break and blow this out real fast. Let me see the fan. What does the fan look like?
Just as bad.
Yeah, and you can see how the fan looks in that CPU.
And also remember, that's the same air that you're breathing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's your room. It's his dusty room. So let me blow this out real quick with the air. I've got the air gun here, and I don't want to blow it out here. I'm going to take it right out to the back door and blow it off with this air gun. You see right here, and then we'll be ready to install this right back in real fast. So let me go ahead and blow this off. If you've got the compressed air, we're all out. You can use that as well. Just take it outside somewhere where it's dry, or have the vacuum running, blow it out, and suck all the debris out. So let me clean this fan up. We can apply the paste, and we'll be done. All right, so after a little bit of light brushing and blowing with a heavy-duty air compressor out in the shop, we got it clean. So this is what we want clean. We're going to apply paste. And the fan is way cleaner than it was. I went ahead and blew it out and wiped it all with rubbing alcohol, cleaned the wires, and I think we're ready to go.
You want me to reattach that to the fan?
Yeah, we can put this back. This will go back on the fan. Let Keaton do that. And then we'll be ready to apply a little bit of dab of grease there. But if your CPU is not dirty or that dusty, you don't need to remove it from the fan. On his other computer, we actually mounted a cooler, a radiator style cooler.
AIO.
Yeah, made by AIO. Or who made that one? That one was a different company, wasn't it?
NZXT, all-in-one.
Yeah.
Liquid.
It's a liquid cooled. So it basically just takes place of this fan. You get rid of the fan and it transmits the heat. It transfers it up into the radiator that's mounted up here that we put another 2 fans on.
It's water
So
cooled.
we're good to go here, and I'm just going to double check this with a little bit of rubbing alcohol, since I touched that a lot outside.
This one also
Good to go.
has 3 display ports and then
Good to go. So I'm going to put just a little dab, a belly button amount down on the physical motherboard there. Let's tilt it up so you guys can see what I'm going to do here. And I'm just going to start in the middle and kind of go around. And you know, you don't want too much, but sometimes I'll do like a little X. I'll put a little squirts in the corners. Considering this one. And when it gets hot, it'll kind of seep a little bit extra too. And you can see how I've got it right there. You can take a Q-tip if you want and kind of smear it around. I don't really mess with that. I think once it goes down in there, it's going to pinch nice. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure we've got plenty on here, because before it seemed like it was a little light. Should be plenty on there. I'm just kind of taking the tip of the applicator and blending it all together, kind of getting it a little bit to the edges. And we've got plenty in here to do another card or a graphics card or 2. I think that's pretty good. I'll show you what it looks like now. Right there. So I kind of just blended it all in. I didn't squirt anymore. I just kind of moved it around. And I think it'll go on there pretty sweet. Alright. And we had it like this before, and that power cord went over there. So let's just make sure we put it back where it's supposed to go. Kind of get those little lockdown feet in the holes, the proper holes there. Get that power wire out of the way. Yeah, the screws would almost be a little easier. Not quite sure why that's not sitting back in there right.
This one isn't.
Yeah, it should just go right down in there. I'm not quite sure why it's not. Let me take this off real quick. Let me just look at it, Keaton. Yeah, and see these feet, these are like a push-in style foot. So what it is on this is an Intel, isn't it? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
See these feet, you want to pull them up. And these little pinchers will go in. You see how they're out now? So we want to pull each one of these feet up. Boom. Just like that. Just pull them up. When you push them down in later, it's going to lock it in. So make sure all of those are up if you've got an Intel. And let's try this again. they might have got pushed down from me cleaning the fan. That's what happened. So let's go ahead and put it right back in the way it came out. There we go. Alright, that's a way better seal there. And we're just going to lock those in. I'm going to do the crisscross pattern with it. Pull up on it a little bit.
Oh, it came out. You gotta push it in so it clamps, but I don't know how.
Those feet are a little bit hokey. The screws would be a lot easier. So I'm just gonna unloosen it, pull these feet back up one more time just to double check. And I'm gonna push it down in and make sure those two mate together, they pinch together. All right, let's just hold it in the middle there. Push these down, lock them in. Should hold it in.
Is it in?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. So let's go ahead and plug this power wire back in real gently. And that's it. Fan's clean. Everything's greased up with the new thermal paste, that MX-4 by Arctic. And pretty cheap on Amazon. So there it is, completed. This thing should run a lot quieter, a lot cooler. We're hoping the graphics card will quiet out. We just thermal pasted that in another video. And we're gonna double check everything. I'm gonna put a few zip ties in here. I'm gonna go down to the basement in the shop and get them and tighten this up a little bit more, and that's it. And he's gonna be off gaming here in no time. So check out the other videos, and if you have any questions, hit us up. It's pretty simple, you see. We're not really computer guys, but we just saved $50, $60 right there. And then now we're gonna get into a laptop and do the same thing inside his laptop for gaming. See ya. Fix it yourself, save that money. What's up, Iggy? Talk to him before I shut the video down. Oh yeah. Yep. You're not a pig, you're a lawyer. He's not a pig, he's a lawyer.